Hello, Yakri here. I'm not sure how the audio is going to turn out on this since I am filming it on a phone in my noisy room, but hopefully it'll be at least marginally acceptable. So this is going to be sort of a review slash overview of my purchase and build with the glorious mechanical modular keyboard. I will link it in the video description. Well, I don't really know how good of a keyboard base it is yet, I suppose. I have had a good time so far slotting in these switches, and I'll talk about them in a second. So, first off, let me just, look. So, these are the Aliaz, there's a Z in it, switches, which are a quiet, tactile, let me see if I can get the right, I guess this doesn't have autofocus. Can I get that to focus on that? Come on. Do it. Alright, I guess I can't. Okay, so maybe not such a good view of this. I'll try and do another separate shot of it. But these are the Aliaz kind of silent switch with a tactile bump for a mechanical keyboard. If you don't know what that is, it means that if you just press this down a bit, you'll feel a little bit of resistance. If you push past it, there's a little bump, and then it's easy to push down, right? And some keyboards will make a click, and these don't. They're very silent. Some are more or less silent. These are on the very, very silent side of that. I'm sure you can't hear anything on the mic from this, probably. But anyway, as you saw, I just kind of slotted this in here. And that's the really nice feature about this keyboard, is you can really easily just slot in switches to it. So you can buy whatever switches you'd like. And, yeah, I'm sure there's probably at least a few people watching this thinking, oh, there's different switches you might like. Well, yeah, there are. I got a whole little tester here also. This one, I'd already decided on these, which are the Aliaz switches right here, for work because I need a quiet keyboard. I'll probably do another build with something like this one here. You might be able to hear this. It makes a very loud, satisfying click, and it's much more crisp. So I really like that kind of action, but like I said, this is intended for work. Something that clicky wouldn't really be suitable. There are other people working really close to me. It's kind of a quiet office building, so you'd be able to hear it really distinctly. It'd be very annoying. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm it's a little bit. I'm building this, which should be quite quiet. And the Aliaz switches, whoops. Yeah, I don't really have a good surface to do this on. The Aliaz switches have come in pretty good condition as far as I can tell. I don't really have a lot of experience with this yet, but a few of them have bent pins, but nothing too bad. It's been very easy to fix them by hand or with a needle nose pliers without much trouble at all. And pretty much all of them have just slotted right in like that, very easily. So I'm going to stop this now and start up again once I've got all of them in and talk about it a little more. Maybe talk about one of the switches specifically, and then we'll go over the keycaps I'm using. And then I'll do another shot of the finished keyboard, and we'll see how it looks. Alright. Alright, small update and complaint. So, this is mostly very nice. I've got the keys all in. It didn't take me very long, less than an hour, maybe less than 40 minutes even. Here's the thing, look. Oh, here it is. That's I revealed it too soon. So if I just try and tug on one of these with just my fingers, they won't come off, right? They're supposed to stick in a decent amount. Well, this one's faulty and just kind of comes off. I anticipate this just popping off while I'm typing. It does work, but it doesn't actually click in. And it is the keyboard by the glorious gaming community keyboard that does not work correctly. So I have to complain to them and try and get them to like cross-ship me a keyboard. Ideally, I'd like to not have to return this until I have a replacement, because I can use it in the meantime. It doesn't look like it's too much work to replace all these keys. The other complaint is that KBD fans did not send me enough keys. Actually, I bought 110 keys, and I'm, what, four keys short on a 104 key keyboard. So they just dropped 10 whole keys. And, you know, I kind of thought that the cushion of buying 110 keys would be sufficient to not have this happen. So yeah, I'm not too happy with them. Not too happy with them at all. Fortunately, I don't really need my numpad for the moment. But it's going to be quite the hassle with how long it's going to take to get replacement parts from these companies. Ultimately, I guess this is not too big a deal. Or too big of a defect, all things considered, but it still is likely going to mean I need to replace the keyboard. So not great luck in that regard. We'll see if it's just bad luck or terrible quality control. I haven't seen too many other notes about similar problems, so maybe I am just the really unlucky camper here, but not too pleased about it. So now I'm going to put on all of these anyway, and see how it turns out, and how well these keycaps actually work. They were what I was the most skeptical about, actually. The keycaps are from some sketchy, I think it's a Chinese company. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if they're any good. There were a lot of reports of poor quality control, but I risked it because they were very, very cheap for what they are, and they work well with the lighting, supposedly. So, yeah, and I'm also going to be silencing them with these O-rings. Tried it out without them. They don't have to add too much of an effect, but they also aren't like noticeably annoying in my limited testing. So I think that should be worth doing. All right, see you in the next part. Alrighty, I've got all the keycaps on. Oh well, I seem to have forgot something here. Right. Okay. Now I've got all the keycaps on. At least that I can get on, since I'm missing 4 keys. So that is a little bit unfortunate. I think my best review has to go to the keycap manufacturer at this point. Maybe after trying it out a bit, I'll find some issues. But it seems like, despite Doubleshot PBT keys being notoriously, prone to quality control issues due to them just coming out wrong once in a while, they got me a full set of keys. None were missing. I believe I have the 3, 5, and 6 keys here. Yes, I do. So no keys missing at all. No keys faulty in any obvious way. Nothing seems to be significantly off-center except this little plus, but I think that might be intentional. If there is an error, that's it. In these keys, everything else seems fine. Why don't I just plug this sucker in really quick? All right. And I have to say, it's a pretty satisfying effect with the double shot keys. So yeah, no quality issues really with these. I'm pretty happy with it overall. The action on these feels pretty good. I'm probably gonna accidentally play my Netflix I was watching while building this. I did notice one thing that's kind of unfortunate or kind of weird is these little O-rings, right, that I was using to cushion the keys. Not actually useful. With this keyboard, with these switches, the keys do not impact the keyboard, and they just don't sink down far enough on the switches for the washers to help. The upside of that is that because they're designed that way, they are, or maybe I think it's related to the fact that they're designed that way, they're quite quiet anyway. So some of these have those washers on them because it was too much of a pain to take them off, and it doesn't make any difference in how they feel or how they sound. Yeah, so these are the lightest weight Aliaz switches. And they feel pretty good. I think I bought a tester as well because I'm planning to build 2 more keyboards like this, and probably the worst outcome one will be my work one, which is likely to be this one. And I have to say that the either the lightweight or the second to lightest weight, which is like 60-something grams or 70 grams, feel the best. The heavier 2 weights feel pretty terrible. The 100 grams in particular, is this one feels mushy and like hard to push. I don't think it would really help. I build mechanical keyboards, or only use mechanical keyboards, because I get pretty bad wrist fatigue if I type on a rubber dome keyboard for an extended period of time, and I do that for my work. So it's a little bit of a problem for me to not use switches like mechanical keyboards. But I think these 100 gram switches feel very similar to a rubber dome, in my opinion. Whereas like the lighter ones, the really light ones especially, don't. And of course, I think for home I'm going to build one with this switch here, which I believe is the something copper. It's the copper. Ooh, what is it? It's the. Let's see if I can find this really quick. I know I had it up on one of my windows. Something copper. I think I said that like several times already. It's probably a little Little overdone, huh? The KBD fan. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, so the tactile switch tester, the copper, Kalia Copper, Pro Copper is what it's listed as. I'm not actually sure it is the Kalia Pro Copper. I'm going to have to test it because I'm not sure that one says it has a loud switch like this. I'm going to double check, make sure they sent me the right one. Whatever one it is, it feels fantastic. Really like it. And yeah, it's the Aliaz 60-gram ones are probably my favorite, or the 70-gram ones. Both of them have kind of a good feel, just kind of different. I got the 60-gram ones. I think I don't like the feel of the 60-gram ones as much, which is this right here, which is what I got. But they're gonna strain your wrist a little bit less, so it's probably better for me if I force myself to use them. Yeah. I don't know what else to say as a takeaway from this. I'm moving from this right here, which is the MX Cherry Brown. And it's a fairly similar feel to the 60-gram Aliaz key. It's a little bit crisper, I guess would be a good way to describe it. And these, what was this right here? It's a, this must be a Zelos 62-gram? Yeah, that's what this is. Zelos 62-gram. So these are very expensive. This would be the alternative to the Aliaz. Having them right here next to each other like this, the Aliaz is actually noticeably more silent. Zelos are definitely better, though. The 62-gram Zelos, I'd probably use, for feel, these 65-gram Zelos. Pretty good. It's kind of funny, the 78-gram Zelo feels really similar to the 100-gram Aliaz. It is noticeably easier to press down, but it has the same kind of mushy feel, and the lighter keys are pretty snappy. So, yeah, you probably are aware of the general differences in how these are supposed to feel if you are a bit of a keyboard fanatic. But if you're not, there you go. I gave you the description. The rest of these, didn't really like them. I will link to this tester so you can see what the other ones are, but yeah, if you use the MX Browns and you're looking for something a little bit quieter, the Zelos or the Kalias here and here are a pretty good choice. If you like something snappier than that, because this is what I used for ages, I'm really loving these right here. So I'm probably going to make like 2 keyboards with this key on it, because I'm making one for my mom as a Christmas present, and because she's a writer, and she likes these too. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, yeah, thank you all for watching. I don't know if I'll make any more videos on this. Maybe when I get my other switches in here, I'll post something about it. Thank you all for watching. Yakri out.
Hey, so small epilogue. I've been using this for last night and today, and I have to say I like it overall. I'm still a little bit miffed about the one messed up key, which is the V key right here. I think, yeah, just kind of can come off. But other than that, the experience has been pretty good. I ordered 2 more of these keyboards despite the defect, since they were on sale. And if both of those show up with no defects, then I'll just call this a unlucky experience. And yeah, we'll leave that at that. Otherwise, I'd rate this a good 4 out of 5 stars. Everything else about it is great, aside from the whole, one of the keys is fucked up thing. At least it does type, although it is slightly higher than the other keys, as well as a little bit more wobbly. The PBT keycaps made more of a difference than I thought they would, actually, after a little bit of time typing on them. They're, I don't know, subtly more comfortable? I guess it's because they're like a little bit of a softer plastic, just a tiny bit. And the texture is pretty good on these. So it just kind of feels nice to type on. The switches I'm pretty satisfied with. I was initially hoping or concerned I'd regret not buying the Xylos switches, but I think these are a little bit better. I don't know, not better. They're different, right? Instead of the Xylos or these being strictly better, these are quieter and a little bit softer when you smack them down, and I tend to do that pretty hard. The Xylos have more satisfying action, but they do make a little bit of noise, and they don't really cushion the depression of the key, so it's easier you can clack easier with them, I think, on your keyboard. So yeah, overall, really great. I'm enjoying the experience, and I'm liking these better on the actual full keyboard when I'm just using it normally than I did when I was testing them. So pretty satisfied with it. Is there any other wrap up for this? I'm covering up the hole in my keyboard there. Yeah, that about covers it. I will do a review if people like this or liked this on the next set I'm getting, which is going to be basically the same thing, but I'm going to be using the I can't really pronounce it. Kyla Speed Copper switches with the same keycaps and the same keyboards. Hopefully, I will actually get all of the switches this time and buying them from the Glorious Gaming Community, the Glorious PC Master Race ripoff company, directly, since they do discount them if you buy them with this keyboard. And I was very somewhat surprised and pleased to find that the Switch that I accidentally sent, that I really liked, is sold by them at a discount. So that's nice. Anyway, thank you all for watching again. Yakri out.